G'day, my friends. Marty, we're here from Marty's Garden. Look, you might see I've got a little bit of a sad face today. Well, sort of got some news for you that's quite upsetting for me, and I'm sure it may be possibly for you too. Big tech are moving in on the small space farmer. Yep, they want to control the seed, they want to control all the nutrients, and they want to control your data through farming. Well, it mightn't be so much you, but in this one country that is now coming up that employs 50% of the workforce in small farms that are no bigger than 5 acres, they're wanting to take over. They're going to go in and try and buy out the land, set up these big farming systems, and then pay the farmer crap for it, put them in debt, and grab hold of them by the... It's not a good sign, my friends. It really isn't. And for me, I'm all about, the evolvement of small space and micro farming, bringing it forward as a future, helping these small communities by watching videos that I put out and the content that I put out, understand how they can empower themselves and grow this amazing food that can then, and products that then can go out to communities, produce jobs and make money, right? So I'm going to have this sort of like series coming up, which I'm pretty sure is going to roll out, sort of to do with, micro farming and some business stuff. But this is not really that. This is like the oppression of big tech moving in and taking control in globalization of where they should not be. This is a place, right, in India. This place actually has held back some of these big tech companies and some of these big conglomerates from getting into small towns and spreading their nasty fertilizers around and getting people in debt and stuff, and started up their own small farms, their own communities, and they're actually building up this workforce and money's flowing. It's absolutely unreal. They're making their own mini economies, and that's what we need to do, I believe, is start looking back at community, slowing things down, tap into nature and make the change. Like the world is showing us now, it is the time to do it, right? But unfortunately, big tech want to move in, take over, and do some nasty things. So what I want you to do is watch this video through. It's sort of a curated version of some stories here online. It's going to help you open your eyes. Please don't get too nasty in the comments, but I would appreciate hearing what you've got to say. Watch the video right through. I'll be popping in and out of this video to share my thoughts with you all.
Farmers have been protesting in India for months over new farming laws which they say will decimate their way of life. But how does this affect you? How does it relate to the Great Reset? And why do people keep saying that Bill Gates is involved? Before we get into this video, would you mind liking and subscribing, please? It really helps us. Thank you.
Hundreds of thousands of farmers marched into Delhi on Tuesday from neighbouring states. At the heart of this protest, new agricultural laws passed by the government in September last year.
Farmers have been protesting in Delhi for months, demonstrating over the government's new farm laws, which they say will ruin their livelihoods. The new farming laws mean farmers can sell directly to private buyers instead of government-controlled markets where they get a minimum guaranteed price. The farmers argue this places them at the mercy of uncontrollable market forces and to the eventual replacement by giant corporations. What could be causing this paranoid delusion in these millions of farmers? We know, don't we, from countries like England and America, that once the door to privatisation and the free market is opened, it's very difficult to close it again. And generally speaking, the ordinary people who were told they would benefit from privatisation and the free market end up getting shafted. But don't take my word for it. Let me just talk to a miner in Sheffield. Oh no, I can't, there aren't any more.
Protesters fear the changes will open them to exploitation by private companies and have been demonstrating against them for months now.
Firstly, farming employs 50% of India's workforce, and 85% of those farmers have small holdings of 5 acres or less. In 2019 alone, 10,300 farmers took their own lives. It's difficult not to see those deaths as the impact of globalization on a cultural system not set up to receive it.
You've been an opponent of big multinational corporations, especially Monsanto, to name just one, because of what you describe as their nefarious influence on agriculture.
Vandana Shiva, who hopefully will be coming up on Under the Skin as a guest, is an expert whose analysis has helped us understand this situation much more deeply and how it interconnects with a broader global picture about the centralisation of power at the cost of the lives of ordinary people.
You know, the entry of corporations into agriculture is so wrong because the corporations only bring poisons. Most of them have roots in Hitler's Germany.
Oh, good. Well, Hitler's Germany. Once a company's got roots in Hitler's Germany, it's difficult not to have some doubts about their incentives and objectives.
In making gases to kill people in concentration camps.
That was not their aim. Their aim was to give people enough.
No, the aim was to make chemicals that kill people. After the wars, they said, why should we stop making these chemicals?
We're making these chemicals now, just because there's not a war on. You mean we'll give up our precious chemicals business?
Let's say now they'll kill pests, they will give fertilizer. Fertilizers were made in the same factories that made explosives.
There must be something else we can do with the chemicals. They do kill people, though. Yeah, they kill people, but, you know, the war's gone now, so there's a lot more people around.
And ammunition for Hitler's
That's
Germany.
not the same goal.
No, the companies are the same and the processes are the same.
Also, the Nazis weren't going, ha, 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 we're evil. They were saying, we're doing this for the benefit of the world. They're saying exactly the same stuff.
So your rhetoric might change, but the goal does not. The materiality of a death-making chemical doesn't change when you say it's now for feeding the world.
It's pretty clear that what she's saying is that there are deep entrenched problems at the root of these chemicals, their origins, and introducing them for the benefit of global corporations is obviously going to unsettle the infrastructure of a evidently quite fragile agricultural nation.
So Monsanto came illegally, didn't take any approval, with the promise that they would increase farmers' incomes and have this magical technology to control pests. Well, the bollworm is now resistant. Farmers are in debt. Farmers are committing suicide.
All right, there are some side effects. The bollworm is resistant, farmers are now in debt, and they are committing suicide. But other than that, these death chemicals are winners.
The area's been ruined. The pollinators are gone.
All right, we ruined the area a little bit. Yes, plants can't pollinate in the same way. But other than that, the death chemicals are winners.
The groundwater's gone.
We've also had some problem with the groundwater. Oh, right. All right. Also, the groundwater has been damaged. But other than that...
So I save seeds. We brought organic cotton seeds back. We work with the Gandhi ashrams on hand spinning and hand weaving of this organic cotton. The economy in the villages where we work has jumped tenfold.
It's a shame, isn't it? Like that basically our grandparents were right when they said, why don't you just keep things simple, stop watching that television, don't eat so much sugar, make your own clothes, have a hobby, connect to nature, get outside, turn the TV on. All that stuff was actually correct. It's more beneficial for us. In simple terms, it's moving into alignment with the conditions for which we are evolved and developed. The problem with globalising, centralising forces is they don't care for the individual in the way that we've evolved over millions of years. So we find ourselves in both economic, ideological and living conditions that are just not appropriate for the type of creatures that we are.
So this is why you're calling them billionaire dictators, because you think they're not helping democracy, but actually threatening and even killing it? I mean,
Wait,
isn't this too much?
No, it's a conspiracy, that's a conspiracy.
Now that we have the data that is showing that native seeds have more nutrition, they produce more food, they have no cost because you don't have to use chemicals, that local biodiversity is the way to feeding the world. In spite of all that evidence, Bill Gates is still imposing and forcing GMOs.
What advantages and benefits are these big tech companies that are meddling in Indian agriculture claiming to offer? And how does this all connect to the World Economic Forum? Well, one way is Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi told the 2018 World Economic Forum meeting in Davos that climate change, terrorism and the backlash against globalization are the three most significant challenges to civilization as we know it. It's pretty clear what is being said there, that their incentive is to control at all costs the relentless march of globalization, regardless of how it impacts ordinary people. No matter how many farmers take their own lives, no matter how many industries are lost, no matter what the ecological impact. As part of the 2021
I know that a lot of you would have found this quite disturbing. I know I do. It really sort of hits you in the heart and tries to disempower you. But that's exactly what we don't want, right? What we want is for you to vote with your dollar. Don't go out and buy their products, you know. Remove yourself from GMOs. They're not good for you anyway. They're bad for the environment. You know, all the pollinators are disappearing. We're destroying the soils. And local economy just goes wayward, especially in places like India, right? That's up and coming now. So, don't buy their products, mate. And stay away from chemically synthesized products. And look at the possibility of starting a worm farm at home on a small or large scale, or helping someone else set one up at a local cafe, things like that. There's so much that we can do to make a change around the globe. So please don't feel disempowered, but share this video, get the word out, let me know what you think down below, how we can make a change, a better change. And if you want to watch the rest of the video that you watched sort of in this curated bit, it's down the link down below. More really cool stuff coming open on the way. I think you're going to dig it here on Marty's Garden. Some really cool changes coming up, but we're still sticking with worm farming and all the same subjects. We're just expanding our growth a little bit because I'm all about empowering the world and showing what can be done and changing it for possibilities. Have a great day, happy gardening, and we'll see you at the next video /vlog. Well, we even do like interviews these days. Real soon. Bye for now. Thumbs up, guys.